All right, welcome to your Monday preview, and we've got 5 games tonight. Should be some fun hockey. We had 4 last night, 5 tonight. That means a ton tomorrow. I know there's like 10 on Thursday. I think it's 8 or 10 on Thursday as well, and then Saturday's going to be crazy. We're coming up on the Christmas freeze, which is why all of a sudden the Taylor Hall talk has really picked up. We'll likely go over that in the news video this morning because there's nothing to report. So everybody's reporting on what there's not to report right now. Imagine if weather worked that way. There's nothing going on out here. Let's go back to it. We're going to spend the next 6 days talking about nothing. Seriously, it's not even sunny or it's just nothing out there. Just nothing. All right. Works if it's a holodeck. All right. Shannon, you're revealing your nerdiness. All right. First up. Ottawa in against Florida. Yeah, I just revealed that now. Starting at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, the Florida Panthers will be at home against the Ottawa Senators. And Florida had better be careful because they are flirting with dropping right out of all contention. I don't know how this happens because Florida's got a pretty good team. And there isn't any one part of this team you can look at and say, well, that's a glaring weakness. So they have to turn it around at some point. Ottawa's going to make them work for it. Ottawa's 14-17-2 over their last 10. They're 3-6-1 on the road. They're 5-12-2. All of those numbers, not scary, but this is a very hard-working team. If you put in a half effort, they will win. Florida's 15-12-5 now. They're 3-7 in their last 10. At home, they're 9-7-2. They're not in any position to start taking teams lightly. This is what I was worried about early in the year. This is where all those overtime losses they were taking early in the year, which probably should have been regulation losses, start to hurt. This is where all those games where they came back from multiple goal deficits to win starts to hurt because you can't do that later on in the season. And you can't keep outscoring your issues. Scoring over their last 5 games, on the Ottawa side, Tkachuk has 2 goals and 1 assist. Anthony Duclair, 8 goals, 1 assist. This is the greatest run he's had in his career. Anisimov, 2 goals and 1 assist as well. Shabbat on the blue line has 4 helpers. In net, Nelson's 2-1-1 with a .920 save percentage. Hogberg, no record yet with a .929 save percentage. Haven't heard Craig Anderson is ready to come back quite yet. On the Florida side, Barkov, 1 goal, 3 assists in their last 5 games. Huberdeau, 4 assists, and Hoffman with 2 goals and 3 assists. On the blue line, Ekblad, 4 helpers. In net, Bobrovsky has a 2-3 record with a .951 save percentage. So, it's not Bobrovsky, it's everything else in front of him. So his numbers have gotten better. Everything else has kind of fallen apart on the Florida side of things. And Drieger, he's having fun holding on to towels and watching the game. You have a great seat for the game there. And we'll see if he gets in any game action soon. But Florida needs to start winning. This is why I understand Quenneville riding Bobrovsky, because you need to start getting wins. Like now, because Tampa's got to turn things around at some point. And if Tampa turns things around, it looks like Toronto could very well be turning things around too. The math gets really, really sketchy for Florida being able to make it, since there's also Montreal, Buffalo, and Boston in their way. And they're not catching Boston. And right now, Buffalo doesn't look like they're going to be catchable either. All right, moving along. Nashville's in against the New York Rangers. This one starts at 4 o'clock Pacific as well, 7 o'clock Eastern, as does this game here. There's 3 games starting at the same time. That's the reason I use the board with 3 games set up on it. Nashville, 14-12-5 overall. Over their last 10, they're 5-3-2. On the road, they're 5-6-1. So, on the road, they've had their problems. At home, they've had their problems. Really, in all honesty, Nashville, much like Florida, I can't figure this out. They have everything they need. Saros is listed as likely to start tonight for Nashville. On the Rangers side of things, they're 16-12-4. In their last 10, they are also 5-3-2. At home, they're 8-6-2, and Georgiev's listed as likely for them. Georgiev's been excellent. I honestly think starting goaltender works for me. The Rangers clearly want to take that next step forward and push themselves into a playoff spot, which is not easy, but the Philadelphia Flyers have shown a lot of issues over the last couple of days, and we understand why. That being said, the season must go on, and for the Rangers, this may be the opening that they need. They needed somebody ahead of them to start showing some signs of falling back. Scoring in their last 5 games, Calle Yarncroke, 2 goals, 3 assists. Didn't mention him in my video yesterday on Under the Radar because when a guy's leading a team in scoring, it's not really under the radar. Turris, 1 goal and 2 assists. Duchesne, 1 goal. That's it. Matt Duchesne needs to be better. And I haven't talked a lot about Duchesne because I did the video during the summer where I predicted that he'd score less points. So I'm not talking about him because I don't want people to say, oh, Shannon's just saying he's right about this. No, Duchesne, I'm not sure what's going on because over the first few weeks he was there, everything was great. So I'm not sure what's happened to him. But he's got to turn things around because they're counting on him. They're spending a lot of money on this. And Turris is outscoring him points-wise over the last 5. Ellis with 2 assists on the blue line. Renee's 1-1-1 with an 872 save percentage. They really wish it was 972. That'd be nice. Saros is 1-1 with a 912 save percentage. On the Rangers side, Zibanejad, 5 goals. Strome has 4 assists. Jesper Fast has 2 goals and an assist up front. Brady Shea on the blue line, 2 assists. Georgiev's 2-1 with a 944 save percentage over their last 5. Lundqvist is 0-1-1 with a 925 save percentage. So goaltending's not been a problem, and the Rangers are trending in the right direction. Again, they may be that team that benefits from Philadelphia falling back. Because Pittsburgh doesn't look like they're going to fall back. I don't think Carolina or the Islanders are going to fall back. So that leaves it to the Flyers. All right, moving along. Washington's in against Columbus. This is a tough one. This is a rematch of a game we saw not that long ago, and a very American-looking game. You have Stars and Stripes on one side, Stars and Stripes on the other, and 24-5-5 the Capitals. They've been excellent. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. They're 15-2-1 on the road. They've won 15 out of 18 on the road. That's obnoxious. Their Columbus Blue Jackets, 12-14-6. Last 10, they're 3-5-2, and at home they're 8-1. Pretty mediocre run for Columbus. They have to be better. They have to go on a bit of a winning streak here if they're going to have any hope at all, because this is one tough Metro division. Holtby's listed as likely for the Caps. Korpisalo's been confirmed as a starter tonight for Columbus, and they didn't really have much choice there. And we'll get to that. Scoring over their last 5, Backstrom, 2 goals, 3 assists. Vrana, a goal and 3 assists. Didn't mention him yesterday. Everybody knows who Vrana is. He's just having a really good season. Eller, a goal and an assist, and Orlov with 3 helpers. In net, Holtby's 2-1 with a 918 save percentage. Samsonov is 2-0 with a 941 save percentage. On the Columbus side of things, Nyquist has 2 assists in their last 5. Texier, 2 goals, 2 assists. Atkinson with 4 goals. And Seth Jones, a goal and an assist on the blue line. Korpisalo's 1-1-2 with a 927 save percentage over their last 5. Merzlikins 0-1 with an 853 save percentage. He can't get a win. For John Tortorella, he needs to start getting wins. 110% needs to start getting wins right now. They can't afford to keep frittering away points. So you got to go with your best guy, and it's going to be Korpisalo. Korpisalo could end up playing a ton this year. Now, the playoff matchups haven't really changed a whole lot. We've still got the Capitals and the Flyers right now. The Islanders and the Canes, Boston and Pittsburgh, Buffalo and Montreal. In the West, actually, St. Louis would play Calgary. So, based on last night's results, things have changed in the Pacific. Not so much here, but in the Pacific it really has. St. Louis and Calgary, Colorado and Winnipeg. Now, that matchup could be changed based on the games I'm about to do a preview for. Arizona and Dallas. Vegas is number 2 in the division, ahead of the Oilers. Yes, the Oilers have that game in hand. They're playing that tonight. So Vegas has moved up to number 2. We're starting to see the more powerful teams in the Pacific, at least those that were predicted to be the more powerful before the season started, assert themselves in Calgary and Vegas. Makes life a little more difficult for the Oilers, for the Canucks as well, and potentially for the Arizona Coyotes should they have any struggles from here. So there we are. That's where we're at, and I got to change boards. All right, this is the one I'm talking about here. Colorado in against St. Louis, and then you got Edmonton and Dallas. So we could see a big change in how the playoff picture in the West looks tonight. This is a battle for first, Colorado and St. Louis, and this will likely be the game of the night. This one starts at 5 o'clock my time, which is Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, and hockey will be over relatively early tonight, so that's good news. There's actually a show that I watched up until about 3 years ago, and I missed the last season of it, and I'm finally catching up on it. I avoided spoilers this long, and with games ending early, I'm using this time now to finally finish that season so I can go over and talk about it on the other channel. The Colorado Avalanche are 21-8-3 overall. On the road, they're 11-5-1, and over their last 10, they're 8-1-1. So I started doing these the wrong way and then switched it to the right way when I did the other board. I actually did this board first. On the St. Louis side of things, 28-6 is their overall record. At home, they're 10-4-3, and their last 10, they're 6-3-1. Bennington's been confirmed as the starter. There's no confirmation with Colorado. I say go with Francouz. Honestly, I think he should be the guy. That being said, scoring over their last 5, Rantanen, 2 goals, 2 assists for Colorado. Donskoy, a goal and 3 assists. Calvert with 2 goals and 2 helpers. Graves, 2 goals and assist on the blue line. And like I've said about other players who are not included in my under the radar, having a good season players, Graves has been talked about a lot. Now, part of where this may be different is up here in Canada, we get hockey coverage all the time. And we get coverage of not just, I mean, you know, there's some bias in terms of who gets covered. But there's been coverage about Graves in the year he's having. It's sort of like Justin Hall in Toronto. Everybody knows Hall's having a good season. There's been articles on it. There's been talk about it. Kelly Rudy said he's the most improved player in the NHL this year. We know Hall's doing pretty darn well. There's not a lot that's under the radar about that. Goaltending for Colorado, Grubauer doesn't have a record, and he has a .750 save percentage in the appearance he had. Francouz, 4-0-1 with a .944 save percentage. That's not bad. On the St. Louis front, O'Reilly, 3 assists over their last 5. Thomas, a goal and 5 assists. Perron, a goal and an assist. Thomas has been fantastic. The offense is there, and it's starting to show. Falk with a goal and an assist on the blue line. In net, Bennington's 2-2 with an .874 save percentage. That skews lower than what it should because of the one appearance where he got pulled that was miserable. And if you take that out, his numbers improve dramatically. Allen's 0-1 with a .915 save percentage. St. Louis needs to get it in gear tonight because if they don't, Colorado will come in and beat them. They have an excellent road record. And I think playing against a rival like St. Louis, this could be a pretty testy little game here. This could be a lot of fun. All right. Last game of the night will be the Oilers in against Dallas. This one starts at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And for the Oilers, now might be a good time. Now's a good time. Now, how about now? If you're going to turn it around, do it now. 18-13-4 is their overall record. On the road, they're 10-7-1. Over their last 10, they're 3-6-1. It's getting to that time. I already pointed out on the last board that they've fallen to third in the division now. Calgary's up there with them. They're tied with them. Like, if they fall behind Calgary as well, we start getting into that range where they could find themselves out pretty quick. The team that's right below the playoff line in the West is Minnesota, and we know Minnesota's been playing better over the last month than previous to that. So, yeah, on the Dallas front, they're 19-11-4. At home, they're 12-4-2. Over their last 10, they're 5-3-2. But if you prorate that out long enough, it becomes 15-3-3, and it's this ridiculous record. But for me, I focus on the last 10, and it's for this reason that you can draw it out and say, oh, it's not that bad over their last 10, because over their last 20 something. But over their last 10, they've won 5, they've lost 5. The scoring, though, does feel like it's picking up again, and Bishop's been confirmed as the starter tonight, which means there won't be any goals going in the net. Not that it necessarily matters between him and Hudobin right now. Now, scoring over their last 5, Draisaitl, 2 goals, 3 assists for Edmonton. Point a game is good, but compared to what Draisaitl was doing earlier in the year, that's low. Which just shows how good he is. Neal, a goal and 2 assists. Chason with 2 goals and an assist. Darnell Nurse quietly having a good season with 3 assists. Win-loss records over their last 5 and just overall numbers among the goaltenders. Koskinen's 1-2 with an .899 save percentage. Mike Smith's 0-1 with an .813 save percentage. Eventually the numbers might catch up with Mike Smith. On the Dallas side of things, Tyler Seguin with 4 assists. Pavelski 2 goals. Cogliano 2 goals and an assist. Lindell 2 assists. Bishop 3-0-1 record with a .954 save percentage. Khudobin is 1-0-0 with a .974 save percentage. Edmonton's a good example of why when an October record comes in, you can't overreact too much in the positive or too much in the negative. There was a lot of Edmonton's arrived, they're real contenders, they're here, and I still think they can get back to that, but it's been a rough last month for them. So, again, if they're going to start pulling out of this, they need to score early against Dallas. They need to put a ton of pressure on Dallas. Dallas is not invincible, and Dallas does struggle to score goals on most nights. They have put Ben, Seguin, and Radulov back together as a super line kind of thing in Dallas, which means they're struggling to score. They like to split them up so you can have more than one scoring line. If they're all together, that's actually not a great sign for Dallas. But anyways, you guys are all set for tonight's games. Let me know your winners, all that other wonderful stuff in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.